Hello, today is 288 of me not shaving or cutting my hair. It's quite an emotional day really. I've got 78, 78 days left to go until I get a haircut and a shave. Like I've said, it's quite an emotional day today, purely because today would have been my mum's birthday. My mum sadly passed away about 9 years ago. Um, she would have been 65 today. So yeah, today's quite an emotional day. Sadly, she passed away, like I said, 9 years ago, of what they call a cerebral hemorrhage, which basically means she had a blood clot on her brain. And in fact, she had two. She had one on the outside of her brain and one on the inside of her brain. And they both exploded, I suppose, at the same time. We were told at the time that the one inside my mum's brain was so big that even if she was to survive, basically the weight of it would have pushed her brain down and she would have been basically in a vegetated state. So yeah, she wouldn't have been able to do anything if she survived. As you can tell, this isn't going to be a happy video at all, but I wanted to do a video on her birthday, A, to remember her, and B, to sort of reminisce and show my gratitude in a way that I'm one of the lucky ones that had a healthy upbringing, whereas a lot of people don't. My mum was very much for children at all. As kids growing up, I remember all the kids on the estate and everything, they would all call my mum auntie, they'd call my dad uncle, regardless. Maybe that was the thing back then, I don't know, but I mean, I remember calling one of my neighbours auntie, but nobody else. And the thing was, my mum was auntie to everyone, to all the kids. They would all go to my mum. I can remember as young kids, we would sit there, Dad would play his musical instruments out on the garden, and all the kids would be sat there watching Dad and listening to Dad play his instruments. And I have memories of while Dad was doing that, Mum was making buns and cakes and things, especially for the kids that were sitting there listening to Dad. So yeah, it's quite an emotional day really, because it's my mum's birthday. I'm lucky in having a wonderful upbringing, parents that really cared, always showing their love and support. Even now, when Dad will support me if I need it, whether it's mentally, emotionally, financially, he's there regardless. And he'd be the same for my siblings as well. I've got two sisters and a brother, and I know he'd do the same for them as well. Unfortunately, there's a lot of children that don't get the love and support like I've had as a child. So yeah, they go through a lot worse than what I've been through. my problems and things like that are simply trivial compared to a lot of people's, and today is the day that I'm sort of reflecting on it, and just simply so grateful for what my mum done for me, for my brother and my sister, and simply me having what I have, like a nice-ish car. Trust me, it's no Lamborghini or anything, but you know, my car, my home, all the furniture I've got, I would gladly give it all up now to spend, just 1 hour with my mum to sort of say, you know, thanks, mum, I love you, and I'm proud of who she was. I suppose this is the opportunity I've got to sort of tell Dad that I'm grateful for everything he's done for me. I suppose me being his carer is one way of showing it. My dad's disabled. He's had a couple of heart attacks and a couple of strokes. And I'm his carer. I make sure he goes to hospitals and doctor's appointments, and I also make sure that he's having regular meals and he's taking his medication that he needs to take and things like that. So I know my dad doesn't watch my videos, but thanks, Dad. I do appreciate everything you do for me. I appreciate everything. To be honest, without you I wouldn't be who I am. As simple as that. I'm grateful for the fact I still have my dad. A lot of children don't have either parent, and it's quite sad that they don't have their parents. A lot of children don't have, anything, to be honest. Some are struggling for food, clothing, warmth. They don't have parents that are, that are supportive enough, I suppose. And for me, it's a case of, if you're a single parent, your child is not seeing, whether it's their mum or their dad, to me that's a form of abuse. A child has the right to see both parents. Just because the relationship didn't work between you, it's not the child's fault, and it's just not the child's fault. You were grown up enough to make a child, I suppose. So why can't you be grown up enough to raise that child? It's not the child's fault that they're not the trophy between in a bad relationship. You don't use that child as you don't favourite that child to win against your ex-partner or whatever. It's just not right. It's like my partner has 2 children, and I would encourage her, I do encourage her to, let the other parent, her children's dads, to come and see them. In fact, one of them came to see his daughter yesterday. At the moment we're up to, I'll try and change the subject. It's still pretty heavy going though. At the moment we're up to £385. We never made it up to 400 at the end of September. which was pretty sad because I've got, like I said, I had a video of me, my son, my partner's daughter, doing the Tabasco Habanero challenge. And I said if we was to raise £400 by the end of September, I would release the video. Unfortunately, we didn't raise it. But hey, we can't reach every target every time, can we? So, a little setback, I suppose. So yeah, we've got 78 days left. I've sent off emails to different places with regards to holding a big shave there. Hopefully they'll get back to me soon. I have chased them like for a second time asking if it's okay, but I haven't heard anything back, which is slightly rude. It's just an emotional day, I suppose. Yeah, simply, like I said, we're up to 288, day 288, I believe. Is that what I said earlier? Yeah, 288. As you can see, the beard is that long. That's the bottom. I'm just literally brushing the bottom of it across my fingers. My hair goes in a ponytail and it stays up now. I'll pull it out for you all to see it. My friend, I can eat. Oh, 1980s hairstyle. Lovely. So yeah, everything's going along swimmingly. I really do want a haircut. I've been getting a lot of migraines recently as well. And I think that's down to me having such long hair. That was something else I was going to say as well about Mum. She's never actually seen me like this with a beard or long hair. So I do think about it today and think, would she like it? Would she tell me to go and get a shave? I don't know. A lot of people have said to me that now they're used to seeing me like this. I'm going to look so much different when I have the shave and the haircut. I really can't wait for the haircut though. I need a haircut. I brush my hair and I get clumps. As I'm brushing it through, I get clumps in my hairbrush. And yeah, so I can't wait for a haircut. You know, I think the beard is still too long. I would about that, I suppose. And you know, so it's just leaving my face, not actually down here. If it's just leaving my face, that'd be so much better, I think. I'm the sort of person that takes each day, day by day. So some days I think, you know, I might grow it back. Some days I think, no, once I've shaved, that's it, I'm going to shave again and become clean shaven like I've always have been. We'll see. I mean, what do you think? You know, you hopefully seen the pictures of me clean shaven to this. Do I look better clean shaven, or do I look better with a beard and long hair? The long hair is definitely going though. That's without a question. I am going to go back to short hair. Yeah. Something I wanted to tell you. A couple of weeks ago, I was walking through town. Met up with a nice gentleman. Don't know his name or anything, but I met up with this gentleman who was talking to another gentleman, and I just happened to be wearing a beanie through town. and out of the blue he turns around and called me a Muslim, basically saying to his friend he looked like a Muslim, um, which I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but I did find it funny at the time. And I just sort of replied with I assure you I'm not a Muslim. I'm Cornish, I'm born and bred Cornish, I have no religion. I don't follow any law like that. And he just replied with, well, you do look like a Muslim. To which I replied, I'm sorry, I'm not. And left it at that and walked off. But yeah, it was a bit funny to actually be called a Muslim. I suppose the beard does give it away, I mean, if I was covering my hair anyway, I suppose I could look like a Muslim. Yeah, so it's that sort of length, I suppose, now. I mean, you can see my hair here. I can actually put that up in a ponytail if I wanted to. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to do this video today because it's my mum's birthday and I'm grateful for everything she's done for me. She's done nothing but encourage, support me, love me. Not giving me everything I wanted, but giving me everything I've needed. Clothes, food, a warm bed. My mum was a major influence on me. She really was. And like I said, I'd give up everything I own just to spend one more hour with her. I suppose I'm fortunate in having a son that's met his gran. There's lots of children that don't meet their nana or grandma or nan, whatever you want to call them. My son was fortunate enough to meet his nan and see how wonderful she was. I mean, he was, 8? Yeah, he was about 8 when my mum passed away. My mum's death was the first death I had actually experienced myself. I led a very sheltered life to the point where I didn't even go to funeral. My mum's funeral was the first funeral I'd ever been to. My mum's death was the first death certificate I signed, and it was a big shock. It was a very big shock. Going to see Mum in the Chapel of Rest frightened the life out of me when I stroked her hair, and she was so cold. You'll have to excuse me on that. That was just a notification coming up. Yeah, my mum's death had a big major impact in my life because it was the first death I've ever actually experienced. However, I did get to be a pallbearer and carry my mum to her grave. She carried me for 9 months. Well, she didn't. She carried me for all her life since I was born. Even to this day, she still carries me in my heart, within my head. She was an amazing woman, my mum, and I love her dearly. I really do. Even now. I don't want to get too emotional and fill up, I'm filling up now, but I don't want to start crying on camera or anything. If you have children, all I ask is for you to take one moment to look at them. See how precious they are. See how wonderful they are. See what effect you as a parent have on your children. Because if you think something's wrong, it's up to you to change it. It's up to you to make their lives complete. Make them love you as much as I love my mum. The thing was, my mum didn't treat me any differently to the kids on the estate when we were kids. My mum, although I was her child, my mum was just simply amazing. She really was. And you too can have that effect on your children. You too can you can be missed when you're not there, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. Your children can miss you. But it's you that's got to make it work. Children don't understand about love. Not fully anyway, I don't think. It's easy for a child to turn around and say, "Love you, Mum." But I don't think they know the true meaning. And maybe that's just my opinion, and everything else. I don't know, it's one of them things. Anyway, wherever my mum is now, I hope she's had a really good day, because she truly deserves it. She's an amazing woman, my mum. I'll stick a picture up in a bit, so you can see my mum. Yeah, sorry it's so heavy going. I'll leave you with not a funny clip, but a bit more light-hearted of a clip of my dog. Thank you so very much for watching. Do take care, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.